side, this is a losing game for Iran. I mean, I would love to see a negotiation table discussion. I would love to see the Iranian Guard put down their weapons, as some of them are doing. And I would love to see the Iranian people elect their next leader. That would be really good. And I think everything would stop. And I would argue until that happens, this is going to go really bad for Iran.
Who is that?
Says Colonel John. I don't know, some military dude.
I concur with
not the worst take, but it sounded a little.
Here's the thing. Like, yes, we know that they're going to win. But the question is the win worth the cost? Like, nobody's disputing the fact that they're going to win, dude. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Anybody who has these kinds of like takes, like, oh, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. It's like, yeah, bro, that's the point's gone over your head.
Yeah. Let me unmute the thing so you guys can hear it.
No, the Iranian leadership's had a lot of time to play this out in their mind and to war game it, right? And I don't say that lightly. I mean, I think that they were, these are intelligent people. So they've thought through, okay, if these types of things happen, what's going to be our chain of command? How do, and they probably went down 50, 60 people, right? And I think that if I was Iranian leadership and it got to where we are today, the attacks on Oman and Kuwait, UAE, Bahrain, they all make sense because from their perspective, the more parties and nations they can draw into this war and make it a global conflict, the greater chance Iran has on their side to incentivize Russia and China or any other ally to come to their aid, right? It's no longer just the United States and Israel against Iran. Now it's 10 different nations to include Middle Eastern nations and Arab nations. It's no longer a religious war. It's East versus West. It's allies and axes. It's an alliance, and it's World War III. So the strikes make sense to me. I'm not saying I agree with them, but I understand why they did them.
They never would.
But the logic of this was seen from Hamas after October 7th and Hezbollah, then trying to involve Syria in a certain situation, and then from the Iraqis, from the Yemen that tried to destroy the
this space is very
commerce because that's
very
the rest of the world.
Yeah, I'm letting them get it for a little bit, and then I'm going to jump in.
It would have required everyone.
I'm letting them get their points in.
Time for, thanks, Jeff. I'm gonna go to Myron. Myron, it's also been a while since we've got you on stage. Is this an America first decision? That's the question I want to ask you first, and then what do you think are the implications of this war on the internal and the external situation?
No, it's not an America first war whatsoever. There's very little strategic benefit that the United States gets. And I can already see a couple of here, like the woman, Jalay, whatever their name is, putting the laughy emoji. There's zero strategic benefit for the United States to be involved in this conflict. Like none. Our bases are getting destroyed. We're hurting our reputation internationally. We're getting involved in another war. We've seen that regime change wars simply don't work, especially in the Middle East. But yeah, I mean, this doesn't benefit the United States whatsoever. This benefits Israel. We are going to war for Israel. Anyone that doesn't want to accept that reality is low IQ and doesn't understand that our country is occupied by a foreign nation. It's that simple. This is not an America first war whatsoever.
That's right.
So
I agree with that.
Ali Khamenei, the supreme leader, is that. What are the next steps for Iran? Do you think we're going into a regional situation? Because the strikes have been regional. Do you think 100%. The UAE, the GCC will start attacking?
Yeah, so 100% because, here's the thing. And I know some of the Muslim people in here know what I'm talking about, but for the listeners here, because I know the speakers already know what I'm going to say here.
Hey.
For people like Khamenei and, these clerics, etc., like the best thing you could do is kill them during Ramadan in the middle of a war, right? This is what these guys dream of, right? And then on top of that, he wasn't really the one, even though he's a supreme leader from like a, on paper, from a more symbolic perspective, he has a bunch of guys below him that are actually making things happen. Also, he knew that this could happen, and they've already set up succession lines on multiple layers to be able to operate independently if one part of the government is taken out. So they've been war planning this since June because they knew with the 12-day war, that they were going to get, this was not going to be the end and that the Israelis were going to try again because they tried a decapitation last time and failed. So this time they're trying it again. They wanted to do it in January back when they originally had the protests. They couldn't make it happen then. So they kind of bided their time, waited until all the top military officials were in one place. And then that's when they struck, which was yesterday, well, in Eastern Standard Time, 2 o'clock in the morning, right around 9 or 10 in the morning for them. So that's what they were waiting on all this time. But getting rid of Ali Khamenei and some of the top brass is not going to stop the Iranians from doing what they're doing, because they literally war planned this, that they would be getting taken out, and they've already had lines of secession ready to go.
Yes, a final question for you, Myron. In terms of the situation with Iran and the escalation ladder and everything, we've heard those speeches before. We've heard they've been preparing for a while with Hezbollah. They've been preparing for a while for Hamas. Hamas had this all gamed out and planned and everything. We've seen where this ended. The situation right now on the ground with Iran is that they have no control of their airspace. The US and Israelis are flying randomly. They are doing damage. We're not denying this inside of the UAE, inside of Israel, the strike yesterday, and other locations. But the impact of the strikes on the Iranian regime is quite high. And we're going to see over time, potentially, the people that are around the regime maybe start deciding to shift or to change their direction.
They can't hear you, by the way, if you're talking. They can't hear you. Okay, you don't want to be heard? Okay.
I'm talking to my stream.
Okay.
Do you see that the selling point of a potential regime change is possible or no?
Well, I mean, to effectuate a real regime change, you're going to need boots on the ground to some degree, because you're going to need to stabilize the country. You're going to need to usher in a transitional government. I don't think that the Shah is like this people try to say, right? Like, a lot of these people need to understand that, like, these American Iranians that are on Fox News talking about we love the Shah and we want to be free again, all this other bullshit. That's a minority of the Iranian population, bro. Because here's the thing. I'm not disputing the fact that people dislike the Ayatollah. I'm not disputing that. But what I am saying is they hate Israel more. So that's very important. And then as they're getting attacked, we're seeing a rally around the flag event. Okay. This is exactly what happened during the 12-day war, because they thought that they were going to be able to effectuate the regime change. See, we got a bunch of giving thumbs down. Yo, you guys are hilarious, all you Zionists. Like, you guys are literally comical. You guys must have just got your $7,000 in the mail or something.
Okay.
But anyway, let me keep going. So anyway,
I think we need to stop the anti-Semitism.
your anti-Semitism. Nobody gives a shit.
I think it's hilarious. The losing team is hilarious.
This isn't even about being on a team. This is me objectively speaking. I'm an American. I understand that I come from an America First position, and this does not in any way benefit the United States.
Yeah, right.
Dude, you got an Israel flag and a Ukraine flag in your bio.
You're an American, so you are entitled to free speech of nonsense.
Okay, we got a better coming in too, bro. Look, man, just get your 7,000 clear. Okay, like, let me finish. Like, these niggas.
Okay,
bruh.
So usually I allow two people to go back and forth. Maybe some people, but when it starts becoming personal attack, no, Myron, just so we can wrap up on this. I get your point. I just want to avoid personal attack that don't add anything to the debate, even though I know your style. In terms of the specific situation, Israel took the decision, and we knew that decision was coming. That was an objective for Netanyahu for a while, but also Donald Trump have been talking about stopping the IRGC, about Ali Khamenei's position, about the leadership not wanting to solve the situation or find a peaceful situation, about the negotiation not going well. That's U.S. positions. I know Oman and others have given different positions, even people inside of the administration, but the White House position has always been, we need to deal with that situation over there. This strike dealt with that situation. What do you think the next couple of days are going to bring?
Destabilization, vacuum of power. I know that a couple people have kind of stepped up, said that they can come in. I know that there was a board of Baloks and Kurds and stuff that said they'd be happy to come in and, kind of take over. We know that the Shah also was talking about having a transitional government coming in, but I don't know, because I think the majority of the Iranian people that live in Iran, though they might not like the Ayatollah, they're going to dislike the United States and Israel even more so. People need to understand that a lot of the suffering that the Iranians have endured in Iran is because of U.S. sanctions. Okay, like they are totally aware of the fact that their dollars literally plummeted because of Scott Bessent and our intervention on our side. And they know that the United States and Israel is responsible for a lot of their suffering. So even the people that don't like the Ayatollah are still going to say, Israel, we don't like these guys, and we don't like the Shah, who is clearly a puppet of the West. So I'm not saying that they love the guy, but I think they dislike Israel more. And we saw that rally around the flag effect literally during the 12-day war.
Can I respond to Myron? I mean,
Yes,
professionally.
I was going to you, Jeff. Actually,
For you guys just coming in, man, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Real Clean Like One or Mr. RCL. I need a lot more followers. And catch me over here on X anytime, and it's 6 p.m. and anytime from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. That's right. I appreciate you guys being here, man.
Yeah. So look, I've debated Myron numerous times. I think he's probably a very likable and nice guy. I actually agree with him on a couple of things. Might shock a couple of people, right? I agree that this strike does not meet the policy definition in the United States of America First. Read the policy, right? It's very isolationist. It's very, we do not go across our borders. Look at how, and I mean, if you question that, look at how Trump argued against doing anything to support Ukraine against Russia. I would argue that Russia and Iran would fall into a very similar category as threats to the United States. And if you are not willing to do anything against Russia, and your stance has been America First, this strike does not meet the litmus test.
Yeah, it's not very consistent, right? It's not very consistent at all, actually.
Of America First. That said, I don't disagree with the strike. I think it's the right thing to do with what the United States should be doing. I don't agree with the America First policy. I've been very, very advocate and vocal against the United States, right? So on that. So I agree with Myron on that. But to get rid of the Ayatollah and the leadership and give the Iranian people a chance to democratically elect who their next leader is, whether they're pro-America or not, I don't care. I would argue Myron shouldn't disagree with that, right?
Colonel Jeff, just to
Colonel Jeff, just a second.
I just wanted to ask him to clarify one thing. Go ahead, sorry.
Thank you.
Please.
The morning the American attacked Kermanshah once again, this is what the perimeter of the Islamic Revolution Guard Corps base look like now. So it has been completely decimated. The video will be posted by the team pretty soon. Iran launched a fresh wave of strikes across the Middle East, with explosion heard by CNN teams in several capitals and major cities. We're talking about Dubai, we're talking about Abu Dhabi, we're talking about Bahrain and Kuwait. Those are the ones that have been hit the most lately. Dubai has been like the UAE in general. They have more than 500 rockets towards them. I think that the short-range ballistic missiles were better used toward Dubai, and even the drone were better used toward Dubai than Israel, because those never reached Israel in some point, in some way, shape, or form. We're seeing also, Dubai and Qatar. Also, Qatar now has been added to the mix this morning. I'll go to Myron.
I just wanted to, regarding for 5 seconds, just regarding what Colonel Jeff just said, I'm not going to agree or disagree. I just wanted to ask him to clarify. When he's referring to America First, he means quote unquote America First. If I understand you correctly, Jeff, you do think this strike is tangibly America First. In other words, you think it's in America's interest. Do I understand you correctly?
There's a difference between in the America's interest and what Trump's administration has defined as America First. Trump's America First.
I got you. Yeah.
James, give me 1 second on this, because I think there's a misconception of what America First is here.
Isn't it a faction?
30 seconds. Give me 30 seconds here.
Oh no,
James.
Hazem. I want to go to Myron, and then I go to you. Myron,
No, I need to drop. I have a CNBC interview in 30 seconds, like in less than 5 minutes.
You have 30 seconds.
30 seconds. So America First, when it comes to foreign policy, needs to be looked at from the angle of the national security strategy. And that defines China as the main competitor and main threat to America. The Iranian regime has been supplying China with cheap oil and other support where available. And yes, when it comes to America First strategy, when it comes to foreign policy in the region and globally, this fits the agenda. This is how we look at America First. It's not just an idea of America First. It's translated into strategies, and the national security strategy is our guidance here. Thank you.
Okay,
So,
Myron,
so,
you
so
have a
Can I
So
lot
also
just
to
to
say
be
something
clear-
about?
So just to be
No,
clear,
it's-
based on that strategy and policy, you're telling me anyone who provides China anything
Yeah.
is going
So
to be
Russia.
targeted. So we're going to target the UK and fucking France and Germany.
Dude,
Dude, that's
everyone does
ridiculous.
trade with China. You what? Like this guy's a dumb. Go do your CNBC interview, bro. You got your $7,000 clearly. Wear the new suit. Anyway, like, bro, like,
Oh my God.
dude, like this guy.
Can I say something about the America first?
Hold on.
Charlie,
Go
I
make a
want to
sandwich.
give Myron, and then it will go to you.
I don't know why is speaking anyway with men in the room. Anyway,
Myron,
Yeah, go
Myron,
talk
last
to your
warning.
OnlyFans girls. That's what you do all day.
yeah. Well, I'd rather talk to OnlyFans girls than only girls like you. Shut up. Anyway, back to what I was saying with you, James. Look, I agree. See, so I guess he has a different definition of what America First is. Where Colonel James. My thing is, I don't like getting involved in foreign conflicts where we're opening ourselves up to potential attacks and American soldiers getting hurt over something that doesn't really yield us that much strategic benefit. I think this conflict is there's way more risk than reward in this situation. So that's why I don't like this conflict, because the Iranians are capable. We're seeing it right now, and they haven't even launched a lot of their good stuff yet. And you guys got to remember, they're prepared for a longer war. Okay. The Israelis don't have enough interceptor missiles to keep up with the Iranian stockpile. It's that simple. This is why they were begging for the 12-day war to get ended last time. So in a war of attrition, the Israelis are going to get, there's a reason why they literally have a law in place right now. People are not taking video and showing what's going on in Israel. And they're doing that for a certain reason, but they are getting hit, just like during the 12-day war.
I just
It's
posted
always,
a video.
it's always, no, Ayal, it's always the same. It's always the same balance. We're talking about it. You're talking about it. There is, yes, they are not allowed to have videos, but then satellite imagery shows what really got hit. So you can't hide anything anymore. To be fair, if we're being honest, you can't hide anything anymore in this day and age. We need to be honest about the reality. Iran does have a certain stockpile, but that stockpile will end. Even if they have 100 million missiles, if they don't have launchers, they would not be able to attack. And one of the main targets that we've seen throughout the 12-day war and throughout the situation from the Israelis and the Americans have been those launchers. That's point number one. Point number two, you're right. Israel will be the one that will take the blunt of it. But what we are seeing right now is that Israel is not taking the blunt of it. The reality is that the GCC countries are taking the blunt of it. Why is Iran attacking the GCC when the GCC stood aside and told them we're not allowing the use of our airspace for anything? At the end of the day, this war, they are the one escalating the war to a level that they can't control. Because
They warned the Gulf states. They warned the Gulf states that if we get attacked, we're going to hit you too. Anyone that assists the United States is going to get attacked. Also, they have literally, guys,
but
Iran is huge.
Strategically, Myron, between me and you, strategically, if you were a strategist, if you don't have beef with the country that said that we're not going to assist, we're not doing anything in this conflict. Okay, they said they're standing aside. Attacking them would just put you under more pressure. Why even go there?
Because you got to hit the weak points. Like, here's the thing. I'm not disputing the fact that the United States is a superpower and can win this war. It's not about winning the war, guys. It's about, are we willing to win the war with the amount of damage that we're going to take of us and our allies? So what they're going to do is they're going to hit the pressure points, right, that they can inflict maximum damage. Right now, the Strait of Hormuz is operating at 70% below where it's supposed to be. The markets are going to open up tomorrow and be nuts, right? We're talking about the price of a barrel of oil going up probably closer to $100, right, by when the markets open up tomorrow. So we know that the Iranians don't have the capabilities to actually fight back full on against the United States and Israel combined. But what they can do is utilize asymmetric warfare to make it an extremely painful war for not just them, but for everyone else in the region. And that's what they're doing. They're punishing the Gulf states by housing these military bases in strategic locations, and then they're going to continue to pummel Israel. And if Iran goes down, I think that they're going to try to take Israel down with them. Also, the launchers that you mentioned, dude, they have hundreds, if not thousands of sites all across Iran. It's a huge country, 90 million people. All over the place, they have these launchers that we don't know where they all are. And they can launch from anywhere in the country. And then we haven't even talked about the capabilities with the Chinese missiles, if they actually have them in country. If not, we know that they signed that deal. We know that they can go ahead and do a more long-term war than the Israelis or the United States might want to go ahead and deal with. And it's the Israelis that really are the most sensitive ones here because they can't sustain a long-term conflict. So, I mean...
That's not true, Myron.
Okay, what's not true?
They've been in
What's not true?
conflict. They've been
Myron,
in conflict for the last 2
Myron,
years.
look, you're making a false assumption here. I don't disagree that their stockpiles for weapons right now are less than what's in Iran. That's true. But what you're failing to understand is their military industrial complex is still running. Like their factories are still up and operational. They are still,
Iran?
they can, no, Israel. Israel can still make tons and tons of, I mean, they're a nation that's been at war for decades. Look at what Elta can do. Look at what Elbit can do. Look at what Israeli aerospace industries can do. They're still making the David and Sling. They're still everything's still in production. So if you keep wanting to say that their stockpiles are low, yes, their stockpiles are low, but they have plenty of money. They have plenty of resources, and they have existing factories to build shit.
Okay.
So that,
Nobody's disputing the fact that they can attack. That's not the point. What I'm trying to display here is that the Israelis are a glass cannon. They can attack, but they can't take much damage. That's the key distinction I'm making here. Also, keep in mind the production of interceptor missiles.
I want to respond as well.
Okay, the sandwich maker needs to be quiet. Interceptor missiles are significantly more expensive and difficult to procure than what the Iranians are using. They're using $20,000 drones that they make in country. Meanwhile, the Israelis are using interceptor missiles that cost millions of dollars. Okay.
That's again. You're okay. Stop, buddy. Look, I'm trying to have a good debate. I'm trying to have a good debate with you, but the truth is,
Sudan waits for you.
Your numbers are wrong. Israel just created and they've placed, I want to say, 3 or 4 iron beam systems right now that are actually laser defined systems. Right? It's about $3.50 a shot, dude. So and look, you laugh all you want, buddy. I mean, you want to have a fair debate. Let's have a fair debate, but don't make up stuff and fear monger that Israel. That's not fair, dude. I'm the military guy. I've spent 30 years in the military.
He's not a serious person. I don't even understand why we're debating him.
I just stood up my.
Sorry, Jeff. Please, if 2 people are debating, don't interfere.
Yeah, stupid.
Jeff, please go. Jeff.
Yeah, I just stood up a consulting firm called Fisher Aerospace where I'm getting paid by Fortune 500 companies to do this kind of assessments. I mean, you can say all you want. If you're making the same kind of money I am at assessing Israel and the Middle East and the European defense markets and industries, then that's great. Whoever's paying you for that kind of information is kind of crazy, dude. You can look at my website, FisherAerospace.com. We are doing great things because we're getting it right every single time. I mean, if you look at my first book that I wrote, loosely based on my career,
loosely based on your loose.
Range is the name of the book. It's an assassination attempt against the Ayatollah Khomeini, written 1922 or in 2022. I mean, I'm getting it right over and over. You can with me all you want. You can raise your voice. I get it, but at the end of the day,
no one's raising
yelling at me does not make you right. You did raise your voice.
I'm not yelling. Buddy. I'm actually very calm. I appreciate the infomercial. I'm sure people here might go ahead and take up your consulting services. But the purpose of the
I hope they do. If they want to get it right, I hope they do.
Sure. Look, dude, this is just a math equation at this point. What you're talking about with these $3 interceptors or the ability to shoot down these, Iranian capabilities, dude, it costs significantly more money for Israel to defend themselves against Iranian attacks than the Iranians spend with attacking Israel. In a war of attrition, it heavily favors the Iranians. This is why during the 12-day war, the Israelis were begging for a ceasefire, and they threatened to nuke Iran if the United States did not intervene and bomb Fordow and the other nuclear sites with the bunker busters. This is why Donald Trump had to come in and bomb Iran, despite the fact that his base did not want him to do that, because the Israelis threatened to use a nuclear bomb. And the only reason they threatened to use a nuclear bomb is because they were no longer able to keep their skies as secure as you're trying to claim. 25% of their stockpile of interceptor missiles were wiped out in 12 days of warfare. The Israelis are a glass cannon, and they can't sustain long-term warfare when they're actually getting hit back. When they're bombing kids, they're fine. When they're actually getting hit back, it's difficult.
People can believe what they want to believe, buddy. If they want to believe what you're putting out, that's fine. I would tell you the cost for one Iron Dome rocket, because it's actually a rocket, it's not even really a true missile, is only about 50 or was it 10 grand or something like that, right? The system, the radar system is really expensive and you got to hit it. But if you can't hit it, it's going to keep operating. Your numbers are so far off. It's not even funny.
Bro, the Iron Dome doesn't even fucking work, dude. there's so many missiles that go through. It's not even funny, dude.
I mean, and this speculation that you said that, Israel was going to launch a nuclear weapon, is this the advice that you're giving to people, and are they paying for it? I'm just curious.
Well, here's the thing. John Carrick reported that, and he has and he definitely got.
Well, John sounds like a good dude.
Yeah, he's a former CIA officer. He reported that after the fact that they were basically threatening to utilize a nuclear weapon if the United States did not step in and bomb the bases, and Israel's
This
getting
is
pummeled.
complete bullshit. James, can I respond to this?
Of course. Operative. Let's go.
Thank you very much.
Give you permission, Ayal.
What?
Just answer.
Yeah, okay. I will. First of all, as far as mathematics go, yes, the Arrow is a very expensive anti-missile missile. No doubt that it's very costly to manufacture.
Instagram at Real Clean Like, and on Facebook, also facebook.com/Real Clean Like, and on Instagram, on X at Real Clean Like. So they're all at Real Clean Like. You can go to realcleanlike.com.
Actually, no doubt also that there are limits on how much you can manufacture it. And on the other hand, the Iranian have invested all their economy into building a war machine to attack Israel and expand the range even to Europe and to the US, and like they do now to their closer neighbors, the Gulf countries. But there is one thing which I think Myron completely misunderstood, which is, and I think James alluded to it before, the Israeli Air Force is taking the launchers one by one. So when they start this war with thousands of launchers or 1,000 launcher, I don't know the exact number, I don't have any intelligence that is non-public. Once the Israeli Air Force start taking those down, then the number of missiles in each barrage goes down. And then it is easier for Israel to take out what Iran is sending. So initially, in the first stages of the war, they may be able to launch large barrages and some will get through. What Iran has done during the 12-day war, they first tried to use accurate missiles to hit the Israeli air bases. And they found out that they cannot really cause any damage to the Israeli Air Force. So they switched their tactic. They started attacking cities. And yes, every time a missile sneaks through, you are going to get a damaged building. I've heard all those, John Krakow nonsense about 6% of Israel got decimated. Israel received basically about 25 or 30 direct hits during the last 6 days of the 12-day war. That's it, 30 direct hits. So there were few buildings who really got pounded and destroyed completely. But once Israel will take more and more launchers, you will see that the ability of Iran to fire at Israel goes down and down and down, and we will need less of the more expensive arrows. And by the way, the laser and the Iron Dome are not being used against those high range ballistic missiles. They're used against much closer rockets, like from Hezbollah or from Hamas. And right now we really don't use them because luckily
drones,
those. Sorry.
Yeah, the drones. The
Oh,
drones.
the drones.
Can I respond?
Yes, but those two have learned their lesson, and so far they're not intervening.
So I see your
Okay,
argument
minor.
here that, if the launchers are destroyed, that's going to cripple their ability to inflict pain. Fair. But here's the thing. Your theory is heavily contingent upon the Air Force finding these launchers and destroying them. And then that's assuming they find all of them and destroy them. What I'm saying is they launch them and then they move. That is literally the purpose of them. They're mobile launchers. So as soon as they launch them, they're getting out of there and then they reposition, put another rocket on there, shoot again. And they have thousands of these things all across the country. Iran's a huge country, right? And they have underground bunkers where they have 1 million of these things. So I think, realistically speaking, though I see your perspective, you're saying, yeah, we just shoot these launches and we got it. Hey, that's easier said than done, man. So you guys are going to have to deal with some serious barrages coming soon. And as far as like only 30 rockets getting through from the 12-day war or 30 missiles getting through, that still caused significant damage, even if we went off what you said. A bunch of strategic locations were hit, okay? Whether it's intelligence locations like the Masad Bet, Oman, the Research Institute, a lot of strategic locations got hit, and the Israelis did everything that they could to keep this information from getting out there. I had to go and watch Israeli media for them to admit, yeah, we did actually get hit a bunch of times, because Israel is doing a really good job
Israel admits
of
the
not.
truth. Yes, you're right. Israel admits the truth.
They don't want to admit the truth.
media
There's a
report on
reason
the
why
truth.
ILTV didn't go live covering the war until hours after it started. Meanwhile, Al Jazeera was live the whole time.
Live is giving information to the Iranians, but after the fact, every place that got hit was on Israeli TV. Now, look, I happen to drive not far from Mossad headquarters almost every day. I can tell you that for sure, Mossad headquarters was not hit. Okay? So all this nonsense that you are
They have
hearing.
offsites, dude. They don't have just one base. Every intelligence, like, are you serious right now?
I'm not going, I'm really, few locations got hit. Some of them are military installations, some of them civilian installation, some of it completely, wasteland. Okay, so
Strategic
few
locations
places
were
indeed
absolutely
got hit. I'm not denying that some missiles got through and managed to create a lot of damage. I'm not denying this. But the fact that you think that Israel is completely gone, you are explaining very well why the Iranians are making the mistake. The Islamic regime of Iran is making a mistake because they are listening to people like you, and they are listening to their own propaganda, and they imagine that this is really what's happening in Israel. This is the core issue. If they would understand how strong is Israel, they would never try to do what they're doing now, bringing their own demise. That's really the
Can I
problem.
please respond as well? Can I please respond real quick?
I'm finishing. Israel would have lost the deterrence because of all the nonsense on social
These guys
media.
are a joke,
So
man.
we
This is
have
comedy.
no choice
I'm letting me
but
up
to
though. I muted
go
myself.
and actually prove it again and again that you
I'm gonna
don't
cook these.
need to mess with us, because
About to
we
cook.
are an ancient people. We've been in this area for 3,000 years. We're going to defend our sovereignty.
All
We're
right,
going to
here we
defend
go.
our life. And if you think you can damage us and destroy us, well, you're going to get decimated. Are we going to get hit? Yes, we are. We are willing for the sacrifice.
Bro got a $7,000.
Can I answer just
All right.
quickly?
Who's up next?
I have to go. Myron doesn't represent America First. Myron is really spewing propaganda, and he doesn't believe what he's saying.
She has 4 flags
He
in her
knows
bio.
that.
4 flags in her bio, by the way.
Why are you interrupting me if you're so secure?
All right,
Such a
sandwich maker,
secure
go ahead.
man you are.
Go ahead, sandwich maker.
You know what? You are just mad that Trump has learned the language of Taqiyya and hit Iran where it hurts. You know, this really hurts the Islamic Republic and Islamists like you. You don't represent, you might represent Sharia first, but not America first. So let's get that right.
Okay.
People like Trump came to office and have
God, bro, I wanna
always
get
been
in
against
face so
Sharia and
bad.
Islamists. And people like you should be deported from the US, not be people who represent America first. You know, your time is up, dude.
Do you have an
Either
argument?
assimilate
Do you have an
or get
argument?
the hell out of the West.
Do you have an
Because
argument?
you don't
Yeah,
belong.
Do you have an argument?
And-
Chalet.
And I just my last point,
She's so
my
triggered.
last point, and I'll go. My last point is, what he's saying is doesn't have anything to do with the reality. This is just propaganda. This is the regime's chicken game of
I get
chicken.
it.
They
I
just
get it.
want
What
to
is this
go,
point?
be
I
these
get
tough
it.
guys,
I get it.
and we're not falling for it anymore.
All right, James, let me ask her a
Thank you.
question. I'm actually trying to engage
No,
with her here since she wants to be this way. Jala, can you tell me what strategic benefit the United States gets from getting involved in this conflict? Go ahead, since you're so America first. Please tell me.
First of all, I'm not America first. I live in Denmark. I was born in Iran. But of course, this is good for America. The Iranians tried to, or not the Iranians, but the Iranian regime tried to kill Trump. They were trying to assassinate Trump. What the F are you talking about? This is an enemy of the United States, have always been an enemy of the United States. The Iranian regime has been conducting so many plans to kill politicians on Trump's team for years. What are you talking about? Wake up, US. You have people like this who are not.
Jaleh, now we're turning in circles.
Yes.
I'll let him
I will
answer.
not do it that personal, but
Hey, shut up.
with people like him if you want to keep him.
Yeah, so, it's interesting that she says this because she said you need to be deported. Little does she know that I used to be the one that used to deport people. I've actually served my country. I was a federal agent for several years, literally catching to include people from the Iranian regime. So I actually understand the dangers that Iran could pose. But what I will say is this. Us getting involved in a conflict like this doesn't give us any strategic benefit, as you just proved right now with not being able to name anything. Meanwhile, you're over in Denmark, probably rubbing your happiest that we're getting involved in a conflict where we are going to go ahead and bear a lot of the damages from it.
I will do that in a minute.
Meanwhile,
okay, this time, we're going too far.
Myron, that's not nice, Myron. Hey, Myron.
Niggas are going crazy.
Points, I'm gonna stop the discussion and move to something else.
Niggas are so bad, bro.
It's getting out of hand. So either to the point or no discussion.
Look, I'm just, she tried to attack my credibility, and I think it's extremely pertinent for me to bring up the fact that she doesn't even know what she's talking about. And she's a foreigner. She's another European trying to give her opinion on American foreign policy and in favor of a regime change war that does not benefit Americans whatsoever. We're going to feel it on our end when we're at the pump. We're going to feel it on our end when bread and milk and everything else is more expensive. So obviously she has no vested interest because she lives in a socialist country where she doesn't have to worry about this stuff. And she's trying to comment on American matters from an America first perspective. Meanwhile, she's from Denmark. Like, what, bro? What is going on here? Comedy.
Can I just quick respond? And No? Okay.
This back and forth, the entire thing.
Oh, you're done.
Bless the family and friends of these great men of honor, O Lord, and forbid that we leave this place as mere admirers of their heroic deeds. Plant in our hearts a measure of their courage, that we might prove worthy of the freedom for which they and...
Guys, I'm sorry that the audio has this fucking static. This is them. Let me see if I can get a better quality version for you guys.
Now let the light of liberty continue to shine on our great nation. We pray in the strong name of the one who guides us. This will defend. Amen.
Thank you very much, Chaplain. Wonderful job. Appreciate it. And thank everybody for being here. And please feel free to sit.
Pray in the strong name.
So before we begin this important,
this will defend. Amen.
Yo, watch it from the White House chat.
Thank you very much, Chaplain Green. Wonderful job. Appreciate it. And thank everybody for being here. And please feel free to sit. So before we begin this important ceremony, and there's no ceremony that can be much more important than this, let me provide a brief update on Operation Epic Fury. Today, the United States
Epstein Fury
used to carry out large-scale combat operations in Iran to eliminate the grave threats posed to America by this terrible terrorist regime. Following our obliteration of Iran's nuclear program in Operation Midnight Hammer a short while ago, we warned Iran not to make any attempt to rebuild at a different location because they were unable to use the ones we so powerfully blew up. But they ignored those warnings and refused to cease their pursuit of nuclear weapons. In addition, the regime's conventional ballistic missile program was growing rapidly and dramatically, and this posed a very
Told you guys.
Colossal threat to America and our forces
300 a month
overseas. The regime already had missiles capable of hitting Europe and our bases, both local and overseas, and would soon have had missiles capable of reaching our beautiful America. The purpose of this fast-growing missile program was to shield their nuclear weapon development and make it extraordinarily difficult.
Yes, the L is OSS chat. The locals is the emblem.
For anyone to stop them from making these highly forbidden by us nuclear weapons. We were the ones that were complaining. We were the ones that wanted it stopped. Everybody was behind us. They just didn't have the courage to say so. An Iranian regime armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat to the Middle East, but also to the American people. Our country itself would be under threat, and it was very nearly under threat. I was very proud to have knocked out the Iran nuclear deal by President Barack Hussein Obama. That was a horrible, horrible, dangerous document. They would have had nuclear weapons 3 years ago.
No, they wouldn't have, dude.
But I'll not let that happen.
We had eyeballs on their fucking nuclear program with that.
Regime has been attacking the United States and killing Americans. Every time you see someone with missing arms and legs or a face that's been absolutely shattered violently, it was almost certainly caused by an Iran roadside bomb. They were put...
Because we shouldn't have been in Iraq in the first place.
Soleimani, who was the father of the roadside bomb, very proudly, he thought, but I terminated him in my first term. This was our last best chance to strike what we're doing right now and eliminate the intolerable threats posed by this sick and sinister regime. And they are indeed sick and sinister. Our objectives are clear. First, we're destroying Iran's missile capabilities, and you see that happening on an hourly basis, and their capacity to produce brand new ones, and pretty good ones they make. Second, we're annihilating their navy. We've knocked out already 10 ships. They're at the bottom of the sea. Third, we're ensuring that the world's #1 sponsor of terror can never obtain a nuclear weapon, never going to have a nuclear weapon. I said that from the beginning. They're never going to have a nuclear weapon. They were on the road to getting one legitimately through a deal that was signed foolishly by our country. And finally, we're ensuring that the Iranian regime cannot continue to arm, fund, and direct terrorist armies outside of their borders.
Isn't it interesting that these are all the things that the Israelis want, chat?
And we thought we had a deal, but then they backed out. And they came back, and we thought we had a deal, and they backed out. I said, you can't deal with these people. You got to do it the right way. Today, we grieve for the 4 heroic American service members who have been killed in action and send our love and support to their families. In their memory, we continue this mission with ferocious, unyielding resolve to crush the threat this terrorist regime poses to the American people, and a threat indeed it is. We have the strongest and most powerful by far military in the world, and we will easily prevail. We're already substantially ahead of our time projections, but whatever the time is, it's okay. Whatever it takes, we will always, and we have right from the beginning, we projected 4 to 5 weeks, but we have capability to go far longer than that. We'll do it. Whatever somebody said today, they said, oh, well, if the president wants to do it really quickly, after that, he'll get bored. I don't get bored. There's nothing boring about this. Do you agree with that, Pete? I don't think there's anything, Mr. General. I think there's nothing boring about it. Somebody actually said from the media, I think he'll get bored after about a week or two. No, we don't get bored. I never get bored. If I got bored, I wouldn't be standing here right now. I guarantee you that, to go through what I had to go through. We also projected 4 weeks to terminate the military leadership. And as you know, that was done in about an hour. So we're ahead of schedule there by a lot.
I mean, 4 days is what you were hoping.
Please join me in thanking every American service member who bravely is standing in harm's way. They really are incredible. And I just want to thank you. We have a lot of them right here. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Fighting for Israel.
Thank you, everybody. We have a lot of great service members here with us too in this beautiful building. Isn't it beautiful? We're adding on to the building a little bit.
He cares about that ballroom.
The building. See
So that's
that
a
nice drape? When that comes down right now, you see a very, very deep hole. But in about a year and a half from now, you're going to see a very, very beautiful building. And there's your entrance to it right there. In fact, it looks so nice. I think I'll save money on the doors.
This nigga talking about the drapes at a fucking ceremony, bruh.
Those drapes in my first term. I always like gold, but I think we can save a lot of money. I just saved curtains, but and it'll be spectacular. It'll be the most beautiful ballroom. I believe it because I built many of.
Niggas talking about the ballroom and the fucking saving money on drapes. Nigga, 4 soldiers are dead.
Thrilled, exactly.
Yo.
She said, will the pile drivers ever stop? You know, they go from 6 in the morning till 11:30 in the evening. Can you imagine? Here?
There's something wrong with this.
You know what? To me, that's a beautiful sound. She doesn't like it. I love it. You know what? To me, other than here, because we're...
Snapback says, can you please explain what ballistic missiles are that Iran is using and they are using hypersonics against Israel? Please give a daily run through. Yeah, I can do that. I'll do it after this. I'll talk about the missiles that Iran has.
Donating it. Not a penny to the taxpayer. It'll be under budget, ahead of schedule. It'll be 400 million or less. Most people say 400 million or more. No, it'll be less. But when I hear that sound, that beautiful sound behind me, it means money. So I like it. But my wife isn't thrilled. She said, this is getting crazy. I said, don't worry about it. We'll be all finished up in a few months. But now for the reason that we're gathered this morning to recognize the unsurpassed courage of 3 really incredible American heroes, 1 living and 2 no longer with us. So together, we recognize the exceptional valor of Master Sergeant Roderick Edmonds. And maybe I could ask your families to stand because they're beautiful families. I got to meet them. And please. So Staff Sergeant Michael Ollis and Command Sergeant Major Terry Richardson, as they receive our nation's highest military award, the Congressional Medal of Honor. And we're pleased to be joined by Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. He's busy. He's busy, very busy guy. In fact, I said, if you want, Pete, you can avoid it. General Raisin Kane also. And they said, we don't avoid this one. This is one you wouldn't avoid for anything, right? So we appreciate that you're here. Secretary of Veterans Affairs, who's doing an incredible job, Veterans Affairs, Doug Collins. Doug, thank you. You stand up, Doug. You're doing such a good job. 92% approval rating. Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Kane, who's known as Raisin Kane. I liked him when I heard that name, Raisin Kane. I said, if it's true, you're my guy. And it's true. It's turned out, it's very true. He's a great guy and a great general. Secretary of the Army, Dan Driscoll, and Army Chief of Staff, Randy George. Thank you. Thank you both, Dan. As well as Senators Tom Cotton, Bill Hagerty. You guys were great on television this weekend. I'll tell you what, can't have a better representative than both of you. Thank you very much. And Representatives Tim Burchett, Jack Bergman, and Nicole Maliotakis. And we have a few others sitting here, but I'm not going to go through it because we have far more important people to honor today. Oh, we have Tom Homan. I got to at least mention Tom Homan. I would be a stand-up, Tom. What a job. Zero people coming in. We had
guys that are watching on YouTube, do me a favor, smash the like button. I hate being on this godforsaken piece of shit fucking platform, but I'm here for y'all niggas to cover this speech. So like the goddamn video for me. Let's go.
Last 9 months, we had 0 people come illegally through our border. Right, Tom? So I want to thank you very much. And I also want to salute 6 former Medal of Honor recipients, William Swenson, Jim McLuhan, Walter Marm, Thomas Payne, Sammy Davis. That's an interesting guy. Where is Sammy Davis? We have a big story here, Sammy. You've heard that all your life, I'll bet, huh? And Edward Byers. Stand up, please. You all look good. We all look good. We remember the ceremonies. Oh, great. It's a great honor. There's no greater. I tried for myself. I've tried numerous times to get one by myself. I keep getting shut down. They say, you can't do it, sir. Bad protocol. Very bad. I would say the worst. But I'm only kidding. You don't have to say I'm only kidding. Otherwise, the press will come out with it, which they actually did once. Donald Trump wants a Congressional Medal of Honor, but he's been shut down.
A stand-up comedian or president?
But now you are brave, amazing people.
I'm not gonna
And I want to thank you all. In
much.
1941, Roddy
country lost
Edmonds
a
of
lot.
Knoxville, Tennessee, enlisted in the U.S. Army.
Trump has lost a lot of support for many reasons that you're here in this video. And then we'll talk about it after.
And soon rose to one of the youngest master sergeants in the military. In 1944, he sailed to Europe to fight in World War II, and he was so enthusiastic and young and full of vim and vigor. Roddy soon found himself on the front lines of the Battle of the Bulge. That was a big one, massively outnumbered by enemy forces. His 1,200 soldier unit fought valiantly until they were completely overrun. The force was massive on the other side, many times the number. After a 4-day death march, one that was covered very well by the history books, through bitter cold, they were put into a German POW camp. Roddy was the top-ranking infantryman in the camp. He was number one, meaning he was responsible for the lives of his fellow service members. On July 26, 1945, a Nazi SS officer issued an order over the camp loudspeaker, loud and strong. He said that only American Jews were to show up to roll call following this morning. He added, all who disobey this order will be shot immediately. There were more than 200 Jewish American soldiers in the camp, and Roddy knew their separation from the group would mean certain death. So that night he summoned his team and devised a plan. The next morning, all 1,200 American men fell in line together, shoulder to shoulder. Enraged, the Nazi commandant rushed forward, drew his Luger pistol, and pressed the barrel between Sergeant Edmonds' eyes. He barked at Roddy. They cannot all be Jews, he screamed loud and again, and staring straight back into the raging face of evil. Sergeant Edmonds replied fearlessly, we are all Jews here. The Nazi officer lowered his weapon and the soldiers erupted in cheers. With total disregard for his own life, Roddy had saved over 200 of his fellow service members. Their camp was liberated 2 months later. We're honored to be joined today by Roddy's son, Chris. Please stand up as Thank you, Chris. Today, your father gets the honor he so courageously earned. And really amazing, right? It's an amazing story. Congratulations to the family of Master Sergeant Roddy Edmonds. The next two we recognize today served in the 1st Battalion, 28th Infantry Regiment of the 1st Infantry Division, better known as Big Red 1. Do you know about that, Pete? Right? Command Sergeant Major Terry Richardson, we are honored to have you with us. On September 12, 1968, 102 brave men of Terry's Alpha Company were asked with securing Hill 222 deep behind the enemy's line in Vietnam. They didn't know it at the time, had no idea, but the area was totally infested with nearly 300 enemy bunkers and many, many enemy soldiers, far outnumbering them by at least 4, 5, even 6 to 1. As Terry led Lima platoon up Hill 222, the enemy launched an ambitious and violent attack, unleashing a withering fire of machine guns and rocket-propelled grenades. Just didn't stop. It just kept coming. Pinned down in hell on earth, Terry summoned unimaginable courage. 3 times he exposed himself to enemy fire to rescue severely wounded comrades, and 3 times he dragged them back to the group. Terry soon realized that the 82 remaining men had one chance of survival. That was air support. Acting without regard of his own life, he grabbed a radio and charged up Hill 222 alone. He needed to be there. It was the only place you'd get reception. He withstood a storm of enemy bullets, eventually reaching the top, where he spent the next 8 hours calling in tactical strikes, completely exposed. An hour in, an enemy sniper shot rang out and the bullet tore through his right leg violently. He was in bad shape, but Terry disregarded that and pushed through. And after 7 more hours of calling in American fire from above, the enemy retreated. Later that day, his team found him with both eardrums totally ruptured and a mangled right leg and foot, but still barely living, but living nevertheless. Due to Terry's actions above and beyond the call of duty, 82 men, Alpha Company, survived this battle, including 2 in this room, Norm Meyer and Dave Himmer. Where are you? Can you want to stand up, Norm and Dave? Where's Norm and Dave? That's pretty good. And that story is 100% correct, isn't it? Huh? See, pretty. It's how much have you paid him over the years? Have you said take everything we have? We wouldn't be here, right? That's great. That's a great story, Terry. Today you enter the ranks of the bravest warriors ever to stride.
Trump is the king of yap, bro.
The face
he's really
of the
good at
earth.
talking,
Please stand up, please.
That's what he was here for, to trick the public, and he definitely did just that. He fooled everybody, pulled the wool over our fucking eyes. I know a lot of people may disagree with that, but that's just what it is. That's what it is, man. Can't deny it. He's in the Zionist pocket, man. He's not in our best interest at all. He hasn't been acting over these. Well deserved, we wanted to lose so much support so quickly.
That's great, Terry.
Not
That's
keeping
a great,
to do that.
brave man. I met him back there. He said, he's central casting. Look at him. He looks great. He looks great. You feel like fighting? I think we could take him today. What do you think, Pete? We'll make a little
Thinks he does.
deal with him, as you are a brave man. Finally, we honor one more American soldier, a fallen warrior of world of wars, and really a real terror. Staff Sergeant Michael Ollis, born in 1988 on Staten Island. Michael grew up seeing the World Trade Center across the bay. I know Staten Island so well. The people in Staten Island are amazing. After 9/11, Michael enlisted in the Army, and by 24 years old, he was locked in. He loved it. He wanted it so badly. He was a squad leader serving in Afghanistan with the 2nd Battalion, 22nd Infantry Regiment, 1st Brigade Combat Team of the legendary 10th Mountain Division. On August 28th, 2013, terrorists detonated a 400-pound car bomb on the east wall of the forward operating base, Ghanzi, ripping open a 60-foot wide breach into a compound that housed NATO coalition forces, a lot of them. 10 Taliban fighters wearing suicide vests.
I'm going to put a poll for you niggas on Kick. I want everybody to go to Kick and vote on the poll for me.
Swarmed through. From across the compound, Michael saw the pillar of white smoke rising and ran to join the fight, rushing without his gear, wearing almost no gear. no Kevlar helmet, no body armor, just one magazine in his rifle. Along the way, he encountered a Polish soldier, and together they advanced under heavy fire, very, very heavy fire. At one point, shrapnel ripped through the Polish soldier's legs, rendering him unable to walk, very, very severely hurt. In that chaos of gunfire, explosions, and charred human remains, a terrorist insurgent appeared, rounding a corner with his suicide vest, fully armed, and you could see it. It was going to happen. He charged the wounded Polish soldier without hesitation.
All right, we're going to go to the Twitter space real quick. This Yapathon is going crazy. Let's see what's going on here.
Ourselves, but in so doing, we protect many others. I want to say a special thanks to our great friend and a great leader of the world, Donald Trump, for joining us in this crucial effort to save the world. So Netanyahu, guys, is saving the world, right? That's what he's doing. Iran claims to have struck Israel's army communication complex. Donald Trump has not, oh yeah, I don't know if you caught this, Doc and Maze, I don't know if you guys are here, but Trump said he's not ruling out putting.
All right, I'm going to mute that. All right, let's get back here, back to the press conference that we were watching earlier. Also, look at this. I guess Hexet didn't like a question he got. Oh, shit. Fuck that Twitter. You know what? Hold on. Let's just go back to this shit.
While we've prosecuted a relentless offensive campaign, our defense has been equally important. Across the theater, operations have remained steady and disciplined.
Shout out to Badman Chris with the gifted sub. Andrew, subscribe, 80. Welcome to the OSS, bro. The Zionist lobby to Trump is the equivalent to a bimbo that embraces their man in public or put their man in a position where he has to put his life on the line. These little hat people are the main reason why this his reputation is sinking. Facts. TPC Films, W Stream, and as I said yesterday on stream, you're truly good because there's not anyone in the streaming world that has the work ethics you have, brother. Appreciate that, my friend. Thank you, TPC Films. OSS 300 right there. Last the Great. Got you live on Kick and Rumble and OSS between TV and phone, tablet, supporting you the fullest. Thank you so much, Last the Great. I love that, man. Appreciate that. Guys, always have a tab open on Kick. I really appreciate that. I don't care about YouTube too much. I'm like I said, I'm weaning off this app. So moving everybody over. We're going to be on Kick is the main platform. I've been streaming on Rumble the whole time now, but Kick is where it's going to be at. Trump is going to get impeached for the 44 U.S. service members killed for Israel. Him and Hexet should get prosecuted at this point. Where's the congressional approval for this war? Nobody voted for this. That's very true. Prince Vegeta, is it me or he doesn't sound confident in what he's saying? Probably not, dude. Probably not. He knows that this is fucking hell. Red Pill Clippers, thank you so much for the gifted sub. And all for you guys that are watching on Kick, if this is your first time here, guys, consider following the channel. For those of you that are new here, Myron Gaines, I run a political commentary show. You're here. Myron Gaines X, aka The Debrief. We talk about everything, whether it's how women are stupid, how to make money, or fucking literally, I talk about real estate investment. I talk about everything, bro. Shout out to you, Red Pill Clippers. But on this channel is more structured around political cultural commentary. As you guys see, we can go deep in military analysis, deep in geopolitical analysis, both foreign and domestic. We tell you guys the truth. We're not scared of the Jews here. Okay, we cover shit for real. Unlike a lot of these other political commentators, are absolutely terrified because right-wing media is controlled by them. We keep it real. We keep it honest. We talk about everything here. All right, guys. So, and I run the most interactive show by far. I read super chats real time, answer your questions. I honestly don't think anyone's better at this shit. And it keeps it more real. Everyone else is fucking cucked. So we read chats, we interact, we have a good time. Chats on screen, we're talking, we're yapping, super chats coming in, interacting. I send people to the shadow room for being retarded if need be. You know what I mean? So it's good. It's good. Best fucking interactive show and by far the best one on Kick. So if you guys are new here, do me a favor, follow the channel, okay? Follow the channel. We're taking over. I told you all this before. We're going to be the #1 political commentary channel on fucking Kick, bro, by far. No one comes close on this analysis on Kick. Keep it real over here. All right? Uncensored, keep it real. We use certain words here that are banned on fucking YouTube, but streaming is going to be on Kick. So make sure to follow the channel. Let me read some of these other chats here. Make sure I don't miss them. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Trump pardons Ghislaine Maxwell at the end of his term. He probably will, bro. He probably will pardon Ghislaine Maxwell at the end of the term. Speedy, if Jace can hopefully say those Palestinian kids will become terrorists when they grow up, so blow them out anyway, then Would it be fair if I think personally I can't trust any Israeli? Yeah, bro. Yeah, you could exactly. And this is what I'm trying to say, bro. You cannot talk about them and their religion at all. Holy yapping session. Let's move on to the Hitler documentary. We can't do that here, but we will do it on OSS only. We'll do that later. He's talking about this greatest story never told. Probably do that tonight, guys. Because what I'm thinking is I'll do some coverage, get off for a few hours, rest, and then I'll come back and we hit it hard at like 7 p.m. Because I'll be honest with you, I did not anticipate getting on right now, but we're here. Let's keep going on with some of this. Let's go back on Twitter real quick, see what's going on here.
In the area. So I'm questioning exactly what the consensus here in the room is about that.
Man, I got into it with Mitch. Okay, and I totally debunked him. I'll debunk them all. There were interceptions that.
Look at this, guys. Coffins are coming back.
Of the U.S. bases of anything civilian. So there was a few occasions where they in Dubai and I forgot what the other ones were, but it was when they were intercepted, that debris and even Grok. Like I did it real time. I was like, okay. So he posted something in the comments, and I went in there and I asked Grok and I asked the specific questions, and it debunked him instantly.
Yeah, I've been doing that with any video that I post back up from either side claims of damage, it's been rocket at least. And a large number of these videos from both sides that are going up are videos from other circumstances, other dates, other protests, other bombings. So I'm trying to be very careful, and clearly the people in Mario's space, which were pro-war, including an account I know that Mays knows, Prodigal, was really surprising me, very surprising.
Yo, I'm not surprised.
The thing is, as well, Doc, right? The IRGC release statements every wave that they do, what their target was. There goes my phone. Oh, damn. I know, God. That's what happens when you don't get your 33 minutes.
Yeah, ridiculous. Let's go back to. Oh, what's going? Okay, we done yapping?
United States Army. Master Sergeant Roderick W. Edmonds distinguished himself by acts of gallantry above and beyond the call of duty from January 27th, 1945 to March 30th, 1945 as a prisoner of war in Germany. Upon arrival at Stalag 9A in Siebenhain, Germany, on the evening of January 26, 1945, the Germans announced that only Jewish American prisoners would fall out for roll call the following morning at the threat of execution. Master Sergeant Edmonds directed his senior leaders to have all 1,200 American prisoners present themselves for roll call. The Nazi commandant became incredulous after realizing that so many Americans were standing in formation.
Hey guys, smash that like button if you guys are watching on YouTube.
Stood hard against Master Sergeant Edmonds' forehead between his eyes and demanded that he order all Jewish American prisoners to step forward or he would be shot. Master Sergeant Edmonds fearlessly held his ground, refusing to concede. The commandant lowered his weapon without further attempts to segregate the Jewish American prisoners. Several weeks later, in March 1945, the Germans ordered all prisoners to assemble outside the barracks for evacuation. Master Sergeant Edmonds ordered all American prisoners to form in front of the barracks, and when the enemy transports arrived, they would break ranks and rush back to the barracks. Master Sergeant Edmonds gallantly led these prisoners in a relentless pursuit of opposition and resistance, forcing the Germans to abandon the camp, leaving the 1,200 American prisoners behind. Master Sergeant Edmonds' conspicuous gallantry above and beyond the call of duty are in keeping with the highest traditions of military service and reflect great credit upon himself, his unit in the United States Army.
Wilma, thank you so much. Wait, so we're giving some medals to some Jewish niggas? Bruh.
Command Sergeant Major Terry P. Richardson. The President of the United States of America, authorized by Act of Congress March 3rd, 1863, has awarded in the name of Congress the Medal of Honor to Staff Sergeant Terry P. Richardson, United States Army. Staff Sergeant Terry P. Richardson distinguished himself by acts of gallantry above and beyond the call of duty on September 14th, 1968, in the vicinity of Loc Ninh, Republic of Vietnam. On this date, his company was tasked with the mission of securing Hill 222 in hostile and enemy territory near the Cambodian border. Staff Sergeant Richardson directed one of his squads to be the point element leading the way. Shortly after the assault began, 3 of the squad members became severely wounded and pinned down between 3 enemy machine gun bunkers. Staff Sergeant Richardson advanced forward under heavy enemy fire and recovered his wounded soldiers between heavy machine gun fire. By the time he was able to make it back to join his unit, his entire company had been completely surrounded by the enemy. Staff Sergeant Richardson recognized that the only way to keep his company from being overrun was with accurate tactical airstrikes. Staff Sergeant Richardson advanced to the top of Hill 222.
I'll be honest, so the only reason that they killed Charlie Kirk, man, is so that they can go on and do this whole thing, because the only big voice that was against this was Charlie Kirk, and he's the only person that could carry that weight. And he was assassinated, and then all of a sudden this all came about. So this was not the plan, okay? This was not the original plan.
Under heavy enemy fire for better sight lines to direct the tactical airstrikes. He began to direct the tactical airstrikes and shortly thereafter became wounded by an enemy sniper. Staff Sergeant Richardson's continued directing the tactical airstrikes for 7 more hours before the enemy broke contact. 6 soldiers from his platoon found him still alive. Staff Sergeant Richardson declined medical evaluation for his gunshot wound and requested that he be allowed to stay to lead his soldiers. Altogether, his actions directly resulted in 85 lives being spared on that fateful day. Staff Sergeant Richardson's conspicuous gallantry and extraordinary heroism at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty are in keeping with the highest traditions of military service and reflect great credit upon himself, his unit, and the United States Army.
That pat on the back. You know, this is where the memes happen, when they give themselves the Medal of Honor. I think he's the only one that's alive that got it. All right, let's go back to the to this situation.
Once again, our integrated air and missile defense network is performing exactly as it's intended. U.S. Patriot and THAAD batteries, along with ballistic missile defense capable Navy destroyer.
Nice syntax. Thank you for the gifted sub, my friend. Appreciate you. Also, guys, we're number 2 right now on Kick in English for most viewed in Just Chatting. So shout out to you guys. We're going to get off of YouTube here in a second. I come on here just for a little bit, guys. We've been on for this bitch for like 36 minutes. I'll give it like another 4. I'm going to get the hell off of this thing. Kick is where we're going to be streaming, guys. And Kick is good, guys. There's no ads, by the way. You don't need YouTube Red. You don't need nothing. You can literally just watch on stream with no fucking worries. We're going to move everybody over to Kick.
I'm with you guys, man. Catch me on Flow over on kick.com, Flowbiz86. I'm going to move you guys over there too. Hopefully you guys come with me.
Even Rumble.
Thanks.
Warriors continue to coordinate and execute intercepts with precision and consistency. I wish that every American could hear the voice communications like I have as these joint operation centers remain calm, focused, and cool while executing under fire over and over again. Collectively, these systems have intercepted hundreds of ballistic missiles targeting U.S. forces, our partners, and regional stability. The threat from one-way attack UAVs has remained persistent. Our systems have proven effective in countering these platforms, engaging targets rapidly. Each intercept represents hundreds of hours of training, readiness, and technology all coming together to work as designed. We will remain vigilant in the counter-UAV fight. And the defense of the region is not ours alone. As the threat grew, our partners surged in beside us. Air defense batteries in Qatar, the UAE, Kuwait, Jordan, and Saudi Arabia joined the fight, proof positive that years of training, trust, and hard-earned integration pay off. I am aware of the loss of 3 U.S. Air Force F-15Es overnight in the region. I am grateful for the safety of the crews, and we know.
Yeah, and that was friendly fire, by the way, guys. Those F-15s that got shot down, that was friendly fire. We shot our own fucking jets out the air, bro.
That this was not from hostile enemy fire. As this matter's under investigation, I'll not comment.
Someone said, why not Rumble anymore? Guys, Rumble is fresh and fit. Myron Gaines is its own show. Stop being retarded in the YouTube chat. Okay? I am now, for this channel, prioritizing streaming on Kick. Some bitch ass nigga said Myron fell off hard. Yeah, fell off by growing 400,000 plus subscribers in a year. Get the fuck out of my chat, bitch ass nigga. Enjoy the Shadow Realm.
Time to send you to the Shadow Realm. The future is mine.
Dude's name is Martin15881. Enjoy. Fuck out of here, bro. Nigga said I fell off. Bro, I'm more popping now than ever before. I'm taking over the college campuses. We're taking over on fucking Kick. I'm getting more views by myself than before. What the fuck are you talking about, dumbass? Enjoy the Shadow Realm, stupid motherfucker. I kept Kamala Harris out of office. Amazon bestseller. We're fucking cooking. All right? Dumbass nigga just fucking retarded.
Don't flatter yourself, bro.
Like, sorry, I don't want to be.
Don't flatter yourself too much, dog. Easy. Easy.
A fucking YouTube where they don't pay me and I'm demonetized and I got to censor myself and the content sucks anywhere. So shut the fuck up.
Calm down, bro.
Mr. Rams, thank you for the one gift. For the
Calm down.
The one gift. The only platforms, the main platforms now, guys, are Kick and OSS. That's it. I'm still going to stream on Rumble. Don't worry. But I got a bunch of retarded ass niggas saying, oh, switched up on Rumble. Nigga, we still do Fresh and Fit on Rumble, you fucking retard. Rumble is for Fresh and Fit. Okay? I'm running Myron Gaines X, which is his own show on Kick. All right? Holy shit, niggas are stupid, bro. It's called having 2 different channels. It's called having 2 different jobs. It's called being diversified. I know your dumbass can only do one thing, putting the fries in the bag, motherfucker. Even if they tell your dumbass, hey, I need you to run the cashier. Your dumb monkey ass can't even give him the right change back.
Bumblecud!
So all you could do is put the fries in the bag, dummy. Stupid fuck. Nigga can't even fucking put the fries in the grease properly.
That, bro. That's crazy.
I'm over here running 2 different fucking operations. This nigga can't even fathom. Did you switch up on Rumble? No, it's called another channel. It's called another show. It's called covering different topics and being diversified, retard. The only diversification that you know, Nick.
My boy, you gotta be stoic, homie. Like, you gotta be stoic and calm, bro. You don't need to be blowing up like a female, dog. Like that. This is the thing that I don't like about Myron. Is he acts like a girl. He's got a lot of female characteristics, and I don't mean it to be mean. I'm just saying, it's just the truth.
Nigga, is salt or no salt?
Bumblecud!
And you can't even do that properly. Stupid fucking retards over here trying to tell me some shit about, did you switch up on Rumble? No, nigga, it's another channel. It's another fucking completely different operation. Stupid fucks, man. Holy fuck. Can you not see I'm taking over Kick right now? And that's the fucking goal. So we got to move everybody over there. Dumbass nigga, like, holy shit, man. You're the stupid ass nigga. They'll sit there and say, yo, I don't want no fucking song.
You're not taking over Kick, bro. Relax.
The fries. You still put the salt on the fries because you're retarded. Ain't no salt on the fries. Hey. Are you right? I said no salt on the fries. Stupid fuck. Holy shit, man. I hate retarded niggas, bro. This nigga must be an Abba and Preach fan, clearly.
And further on this. Let me close.
Man, I'm getting the fuck
Operations
off
will remain active.
I'm getting the fuck off YouTube right now. All right, niggas. I fucking I'm getting off YouTube right now. Some dumbass nigga said, bro, switched up. You know what else switches up? The Shadow Realm. Enjoy.
Time to send you to the Shadow Realm. The future is mine.
Nigga's name is Boan49. Enjoy, motherfucker. The fuck out of here, bro. We play Super Smash Bros. In this shit. We eating ass. We fucking bang home run with these motherfuckers. Enjoy the Shadow Realm with all the other fucking black people. Sending y'all niggas back, bro. And here's the thing. You guys better be happy that it's only getting sent to the Shadow Realm. If I ever become president, you niggas are all air fried, bro. Yo, you frying the bag ass niggas are cooked, bro. As some dumbass nigga in Discord, I was going through my Discord. Hey, Myron, I don't think it's appropriate that you say we need to bring slavery back. Yes, we do need to bring slavery back. Because you niggas are stupid. Stupid as fuck. No critical thinking skills. At all. Damn. You niggas probably go to fucking, what the fuck is it called? Historically black colleges. Like what? Like what the fuck is going on, man? All right. We getting off of fucking YouTube, bro. I'm getting off this gay ass platform so I can fucking say the shit that I really want to say. I'm tired of censoring.
You are just mad that Trump has learned the language of Sharia and hit Iran where it hurts. This
they got me feeling like I'm academics.
Out of their civilian jobs to deploy and to protect the region. Lastly, I want to highlight the unsung heroes of warfare, our American logisticians and sustainment force, those who quietly work every day behind the scenes to project and sustain America's combat power. Our leaders from World War II were right when they said professionals do logistics. As regional tensions rose, the Joint Force elevated our force protection measures on the order of the Secretary and repositioned discreetly civilians and non-essential personnel designed to ensure the safety and security of our Joint Force. By the time operations began, only essential forces remained on our bases and in theater, all ready, capable to respond. So now let me move to H hour. At 3:38 p.m., on Friday, February 27th, the United States Central Command, through the Secretary of War, received the final go order from President Trump. The president directed, and I quote, Operation Epic Fury is approved. No aborts. Good luck, close quote.
Oh, shit.
In the region, every element of the Joint Force made their final preparation.
Oh, go ahead.
Air defense batteries readied themselves, checking their systems to respond to Iranian attacks. Pilots and crews rehearsed their strike packages for the final time.
You are just mad that Trump has learned the language of Sharia and hit Iran where it hurts. This really hurts the Islamic Republic and Islamists like you. People like you should be deported from the U.S. Either assimilate or get the hell out of the West.
Do you have an argument?
Because you don't belong.
You know, it's interesting that she says this because she said you need.
Want to break into cybersecurity but don't have experience? The Google Cybersecurity Certificate uses real.
I am awake. I am aware. I am running out of time. And so are you. The thing is, man, you can always make more money. Always. You lose $1,000 today. You can make 2,000 tomorrow. You can work harder, get a better job, start a business, whatever. Money comes back. You lose your house, you can get another house. You total your car.
The reason why killing Khomeini, it doesn't really do anything or achieve anything is because Iran has martyrdom culture. And so when you kill these leaders or you decapitate these military officials, you do nothing except charge up the IRGC.
The choice of words, huh?
In all the other provinces around the country who support the military, because it's not just people who hate the IRGC. There's actually a lot of people who are in support of regime or in support of the regime against the United States, meaning maybe they don't like the regime that much, but they have a vested interest in the regime defeating and fighting Israel and the United States. They are the last axis of resistance. So for those of you guys, I'm going to give a brief overview because I know this may be a little bit repetitive to those of you who have already been keeping up with the news or watching our show or other political commentators. But for those of you guys who are kind of confused or in the dark as to what's happening, I'll give a brief overview. Last night at around, or actually technically, I guess this morning at around 1 or 2 a.m. Eastern time, there were strikes in Tehran. Israel had announced that they had struck Tehran and they shut down their own airspace and advised their own citizens to take cover in safe rooms or bomb shelters. So they launched a joint attack with the United States in which Donald Trump posted a social for an address, and they pretty much desecrated all of the key military standpoints in Tehran. And in those strikes ended up what I'm seeing now, and this is what's developing, assassinating Ayatollah Khomeini, Ali Khamenei. If you guys aren't familiar with him, he's the supreme leader, the religious authority over Iran. And so in these strikes, not only did they assassinate Yeah, you can pull them up on screen. So in these strikes, not only did they assassinate him, but they also probably got rid of a lot of key military figures in the leadership as well, I'm assuming, because whoever was around him had to have been of some importance as well. And this, of course, provoked a response from Iran, in where they struck not only Israel, that's him right there on the screen, if you guys can see, that's Ali Khamenei, Grand Ayatollah. So in the response that Iran had set out for Israel, they responded not only to Israel with their ballistic missiles campaign, which we knew what was coming, but they actually struck 7 or 8 Gulf countries. So that would be Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and which one am I missing here? There was one more, Jordan. So 7 countries in the Gulf. They took pretty much almost the Gulf, and they hit all of the United States military bases in these countries. They kind of aimed at some civilian infrastructure, especially in the UAE as well as Dubai and Abu Dhabi. So if you go on Twitter, you can see a bunch of that on your timeline. So right now where we are is Iran is still unleashing its military barrage of missiles onto these Gulf countries, whilst simultaneously attacking Israel, Tel Aviv, Haifa, and other provinces as well. Now, what's happening on the ground in Israel and in the air is a little bit skewed, of course, because Western media is a lot more reluctant to post that kind of stuff and report on it. And so what we're having to do is go in Telegram channels and find out what's going on the ground in Israel. But from what I'm gathering here, and you let me know if you agree, Myron, it seems like Israel is not really, look, they're getting barraged and they're getting assaulted badly and they're dealing with a lot of damage in infrastructure, but it seems like the United States and Israel has good control over the situation. And not only have they decapitated leadership, but they obviously have the upper hand when it comes to air superiority. Although this is a long game, for right now, it seems like they've kind of dealt the brunt of force to start off the war. But again, it's a war, it's not a battle. So we'll see what happens over the next few days. But right now, it seems like the Western powers and their ally and their key partnership is kind of taking a little bit more of a hedge than the IRGC, at least for right now. That's kind of like the brief overview and where we've gotten to.
Okay. Real quick, can you read your super chats? I'm compiling the list right now of all the people that were killed, and who they are. I'm pulling up all their Wikipedia pages right now for everybody. And you know what? Do me a favor, give them a quick summary on the failed talks at Geneva as well, because that was like, that's one of the bullshit that they used to justify also striking them.
Yeah. So for context, and this is all in retrospect, we're realizing this now. We didn't know as things were happening in tandem or chronologically, but now we can see in the grand scheme of things, it seems that the United States and Israel plan to kind of undermine Iran, and these talks were all for no reason rather than to just really show face. And we ended up striking them again anyways this morning. But we had talks with Israel, first of all being in Oman. This was like 3 or 4 weeks ago, about a month ago. And in these peace talks, we had our military envoy for the Middle East, Stephen Witkoff, and Jared Kushner, who represent Donald Trump, in meeting with IRGC official members, as well as other key figures in the Iranian government and political figures, to come to some sort of terms. The issue is obviously, what are those terms? What are the stipulations? What is America bringing to the table? What are the non-negotiables? For us, we kept moving the goalposts, and we'll kind of get to why that's the case later. I'll break this all down so you guys understand clearly. But we moved the goalposts. We're talking about, you need to get rid of your missiles program, and then you need to get rid of your proxy program. If you guys don't know, Iran has a very powerful proxy program located in southern Lebanon as well as North Yemen. Those are really the major threats, as well as some of them in Iraq as well. And so the United States is telling Israel, you've got to get rid of these proxies. You've got to do something about this, as well as pretty much halting your nuclear program, promising us you're not going to make a bomb. At the same time, we're also telling them you got to shut down the ballistic missiles program. And Benjamin Netanyahu even proposed that for the missiles program, they have to shorten the distance in which their missiles can travel.
So 300 kilometers, which is fucking retarded. Useless.
Yeah, which is literally missiles not going to be able to even leave the province of Iran with that kind of distance. As we know, Iran is a very large area and landmass. And so, of course, these are unrealistic terms. We're making maximalist demands in a situation where a country already doesn't trust us because we've tarnished the peace agreement that we previously made with them under the Obama administration. And so they already know that this Trump administration is pro-Israel. It's there to undermine them, and it's there to eventually decapitate their power and their leadership authority and their structure and take power, or plant our own planned president there, who looks like he's the Shah intercessor, or the predecessor of the Shah. His name is Reza Pahlavi. And so we had these talks.
Some retard is saying old news now. Hey, dumbass, we're recapping everything, you stupid fuck. Niggas
we're just doing a quick recap.
We're literally doing a recap,
overview.
dumbass.
And so
stupid nigga in the
we had the talk. we had the talks in Oman, and then we moved to Geneva to have those talks again. And I believe in the second round of Geneva talks, we got nowhere. And it seems like we couldn't come up with any agreement. That was at some point last week. And of course, everybody was kind of ready for some sort of military intervention in the Middle East. And a lot of countries started gearing up. The United Kingdom had pulled out a lot of their personnel from the embassies. The United States started clearing out their military bases. A lot of countries in Europe started preparing in different ways. And so it was evident that a strike was pretty much imminent, but we didn't know when and what time exactly. But Israel made it very apparent when they attacked this morning at 2 a.m. in Tehran. So it's important to realize Donald Trump, or not Donald Trump, but rather J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio were set out to go to Israel next week. I doubt that's the case anymore, being the fact that it'd be a huge security threat. But they proposed to Iran that they proposed to the world rather that they would be in Israel next week. So this just kind of goes to say that they were undermining the IRGC, the entire Iranian Revolutionary Guard is what that is, and had a plan on striking them this entire time. And they say it was preemptive, but it absolutely wasn't. And so that's kind of the situation with the peace talks. It was just kind of a strategic thing to lull them to sleep to eventually strike them. I've got chats here. I can read these, and then you're still getting set up.
Yeah, I got it ready. I can quickly go over. So guys, here's a quick overview of the people that were killed. Give me 1 sec. I'll show you guys this real fast. Where the hell do I have this? Okay. So right here. So first, obviously we know, right. Obviously, Khamenei, right, was the first person. Well, he got killed a couple hours ago, but this is the supreme leader of Iran. Then they also lost, this guy right here, Ali Shamkhani. This dude was the Iranian naval officer and a politician who served as the Secretary of Supreme National Security Council of Iran. So they got him as well. Let's see. They got Mohammed Pakur. He was an Iranian military officer who served as the commander of the IRGC, right? So they got him. And then they got Aziz Naserzadeh, who basically, this guy was the Iranian Minister of Defense in the government of the Masoud Pezeshkian from 2024 to 2026. So basically, they hit a bunch of, high-ranking military officials to include the supreme leader, right? Let's see here. Oh, yeah, here they are from the Situation Room, it looks like. This is probably in Mar-a-Lago. Here you go. 2026 Israeli United States strikes on Iran. And here he is. It looks like, I think this looks like Mar-a-Lago. Here he is with Susie Wiles, right here. Marco Rubio, Secret Service himself. And he had recorded he recorded the video wearing this outfit. So, and I think he pre-recorded, and it's called Operation Epic Fury. So, and they're bombing all over the country right now. Now, from what I understand from multiple sources, is their goal was to get as many of these guys in one location as possible to do the strike. That's what they were waiting on for. So that's what they were literally building resources there for a while, and they were using their intelligence assets to try to figure out when they were actually going to strike. And that's how they ended up with getting all four of these guys. Obviously, Khomeini, this guy, Ali Shamkhani, Mohammed Pakur, and then obviously this is them at the Situation Room and everything else like that in Mar-a-Lago. Now, here's a list of what's transpired, guys, over the past couple of hours, right? So Iran and Iraqi militias have basically targeted Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. You guys know that's the biggest air base in the Middle East. NSA Bahrain, that's a naval location of Bahrain. Al Dhafra base in the UAE, Prince Sultan base in Saudi Arabia, Ali Al Salam base in Kuwait, American base in Erbil, Iraqi Kurdistan, the Mufaq al-Sulti air base in Jordan, radar systems in Bahrain, radar systems in Qatar, UAE airport, Bahrain airport, launched missiles over 50 different times towards Israel, multiple impacts in Israel, visual confirmation of a ship being struck, likely an Israeli Navy ship, suicidal drones impacting multiple infrastructure and high-value properties across the Gulf, UAE, Bahrain, and Qatar, over 120 Israeli casualties, one dead Emirati, drone strikes in Erbil, Iraqi Kurdistan. And then on the U.S. side, they've gotten, obviously, the Supreme Leader, Ali Khamenei, assassination of 6 senior Iranian military figures. I showed you guys 3 or 4 of them. 900 plus strikes in Iran, 100 plus dead civilians, and all-age girls' school was struck, and over 80 people were killed. I'm confident that this school that they bombed, chat, there was probably a high-ranking military official there. That's what I'm willing to bet as to why they struck it. Then you got multiple Iranian missile bases were struck. The Iranian Ministry of Defense building was struck. Iranian presidential palace was struck. The Iranian Supreme Leader's office was struck. Mass airstrikes withdraw Iran air
They basically covered every base, every base they needed to cover.
superiority almost fully achieved, according to Israeli estimates. So
They've got full control of the air now.
I don't. Well, do they? Because I know that they've been having
in Iran.
issues with
The United States has a good deal. I'm reading in a lot of different places that the United States has a good deal of control of the air in Iran.
Okay. Hold on. I don't know why my camera's acting like that, but whatever. So basically,
There's no military mightier than the American military. That's one thing I will tell you, is that the American military is fully equipped to deal with any military in the world.
I could stop sharing now. Hold on. What the fuck? Okay, there we go. Okay. Go ahead, bro. You said you want to. So, guys, that's like an update of the past 20 hours or so. So there's been damage on both sides. From what I understand, the Iranians haven't used their most sophisticated missiles yet. They're using things from the back of the stockpile, especially to hit the Gulf states, because the Gulf states are pretty much sitting ducks where they're at. But yeah, go ahead, Riyadh. Do you have anything that you want to say?
Yeah, no. So a lot of people and kind of U.S. legacy media is getting their head twisted up and thinking that they've got the upper hand now and things are nearing the end. But I would say that it's definitely the opposite of that. I think that this is still going to be long-winded. The reason why is because it's pretty obvious Iran has not actually pulled out any of their serious military capabilities or assets just yet. And the reason why is because they have a large stockpile of these missiles. They have so
They have to have 5,000 or more of those missiles for sure.
many in reserve. And so what we're seeing up front, in basic, war 101 military tactics, what we're seeing up front is probably not going to be their best stuff. And so Israel is still on high alert. Sirens are sounding every single, 20, 30 minutes. I'm getting here in news reports on X. And so it seems as if though they're still hitting Israel hard. And I think as time progresses, the strikes are going to get even worse as they narrow down the focus into Israel and pull away from these Gulf states. I'll read some chats really quick and then we can kind of get into the nitty gritty. I saw a development, by the way, and we'll get into this, but I saw a development that the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia actually wanted Trump to strike Iran. Were you able to see that?
I did see that behind closed doors, they told him to strike, but they're probably they're probably regretting that shit now, though.
Yeah, they probably are. But interestingly enough, I predicted that. I had said that Saudi Arabia would have some sort of interest in an Iranian war or a conflict with Israel and the United States because it would open up the region for them to gain control, which they so desperately wanted from the UAE and other partners in the Middle East. So that wasn't surprising. But let's see here. I got to chat. Okay, 213 kill zone. Is it 100% that the Supreme Leader is cooked? Yes, he's cooked. He's dead. Johnny Las Vegas, here comes the Muslim copium. Okay, bro, you sound like you're pro-war. Ken Rose, thank you so much for the $5. All right, thanks.
People also got to know that Khamenei wasn't really involved in day-to-day conflict situations. Number one, he put 4 different layers, right, of secession. At least from what we know, it could be more than that. And then number 2, he's more of a symbolic leader. Him dying isn't really going to change too much when it comes to the resistance and the IRGC, whatever. If anything, the CIA warned Trump that killing Khamenei is actually it could backfire. CIA literally warned him that that it doesn't really, it could create more issues because
strategically, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You good?
No, you're right. Strategically, the reason why killing Khamenei, it doesn't really do anything or achieve anything is because one, Iran has martyrdom culture. And so when you kill these leaders or you decapitate these military officials, you do nothing except charge up the IRGC and all the other provinces around the country who support the military, because it's not just people who hate the IRGC. There's actually a lot of people who are in support of regime or in support of the regime against the United States, meaning maybe they don't like the regime that much, but they have a vested interest in the regime defeating and fighting Israel and the United States. A lot of people have this misunderstanding where they think that nobody supports the Ayatollah or the regime and they're evil and there's these monsters who behead people and hang people and whatever, you can make that argument. The reason is they are the last axis of resistance, and the Shia population in these countries, or primarily in Iran as well as Iraq, recognize this. And so that's why they have a vested interest in this regime maintaining power, because that's the last leg of support in the Middle East before Israel has complete control and autonomy over the whole region. So that's the reason as to why there's a lot of support for these military campaigns in Iran. You'll see a lot of protests on X of people shouting death to America, and then American conservatives and these pretty much neocons will say, well, look, they're saying death to America. And they're saying, because we've been destabilizing the region for the last 25 years. That's why. And another reason why it's not beneficial to decapitate leadership, at least killing Khamenei so far, is because of the fact that the IRGC is well armed. They have a lot of personnel on ground. They still have a lot of military assets, a lot of weapons. They're being militarily supported by Russia and China. And what I'm trying to say here is if we kill the leadership, they still have a bunch of military personnel that are ready to fight. And they have successors waiting to step up to these positions because of how accustomed they are to seeing regime change in the region. They're ready for that. Iran is specifically equipped to deal with this exact situation that we're seeing. And people are going to get mad and say,
they're prepared for it since June, bro.
Iran.
Since June, since June, they've been preparing for this shit. Like,
yes,
guys,
June, they've been preparing.
Yo,
go ahead.
Because you guys got to understand, right? See, for me and my brother, we're looking at this like this doesn't matter. And because over the past 30 years, the Iranians have watched the United States and Israel destroy all of their neighbors. You understand?
That's true. That's very true.
And with decapitation strikes, with coups, with all different types of military and intelligence-based strategies to topple the government. They saw Saddam Hussein get destroyed. They saw Gaddafi get destroyed. This is a big reason why they had a nuclear program, by the way, because Saddam Hussein and Gaddafi gave up their nuclear program and were eventually destroyed anyway, right? So they understood that you need to have a line of secession and a very long line of secession. And the guy that's on camera, that's the face of the government, shouldn't be the guy that's actually making shit happen. So Khomeini is more of a religious cleric, right? That is the face and symbolic of the government, the face of the Ayatollah. However, now the people that are in charge are going to be military. We don't give a fuck about, I don't want to say we don't give a fuck about Islam, but these guys are going to be like far more militant in their approach. Right. And at this point, also, the other thing that's dangerous that you guys understand is that this is a war for their existence. All right. This is an existential war. So someone is not going to be able to walk away from this situation. Right. And if they're going to go down, they're going to make sure that Tel Aviv goes down with them. Right. They're going to put as much damage into Tel Aviv as they possibly can. Guys, the reason why y'all are not seeing a lot of the damage in Israel right now is because they have strict laws in place where if they catch you taking video and trying to put it on the internet or whatever, you could go to jail for that shit. Israel's put on some extreme censorship ordinances in place to prevent people from showing what's actually getting hit. So the Iranians cannot calibrate their missiles to be more accurate in different locations all across Israel. They did this during the 12-day war too, but now they're being far more militant about it. So they already kind of been preparing for this since the 6-day war. The 12-day war, back 6 or 8 months ago. So killing the supreme leader is not really that big of a deal. Also, you're talking about people that want to die this way. like these dudes say, yes, I wish I could. Bro, you gave this nigga what he wanted. He died in Ramadan, in the middle of a war against Israel.
Yeah, cutting the head off the snake is not going to do what
it's not going to do shit.
Yeah, it's going to give the United States an advantage. We can say that we won, but again, it creates another power vacuum. And let me say this because I'm looking at my chat right now and we have a lot of dumbasses in here. And so let me make this very clear as to why my position is where it stands and why I'll never move from this position and why I continue to be vindicated from you dumbasses who have neoconservative mindsets. Let me frame this clearly. I'm going to do this once and one time only. Let me say this because I'm looking at the United States is the strongest country in the world currently. 100% full stop. There's no doubt about that. If we continue to support Israel in their military campaigns against their adversaries in the Middle East that so precisely balance the power of that region and prevent them from taking full control of that region, which is what they want to do. If you look at their own ideology, if they look at their own motivations, what they want to do and what they plan on doing is taking the Golan Heights and a lot more province in Syria, taking southern Lebanon, taking the Sinai from Egypt, taking Gaza, annexing the West Bank. Israel wants total control over that region. If they get that control and we don't have that control, not only are they going to have autonomy over the most influential region in the world right now, that being the Middle East, but they also will have direct access to not Iran, China and Russia as well. And they can closely align with them, or the other Gulf countries can closely align with them. The bigger point I'm trying to make here, the United States militarily supporting Israel and helping them decapitate leadership in opposing countries will put the United States in a less advantageous position moving forward in the future to have power, because we no longer have a situation where we can step into two opposing countries and say, hey, look, we can work this out. We can issue diplomacy. Now we're going to give one country complete autonomy, and that's going to give them a lot more power to oppose us if they ever so decide, which is Israel. On top of that, who knows why Trump is doing what he's doing? It could be because of blackmail with nukes. It could be because Benjamin Netanyahu is calling up the White House and he's calling up Washington and he's saying, look, if you don't do a joint strike with us, we don't care. We're going to strike without you. Do you want a country who talks to our leadership that way? Because he likely does. Do you want a country who talks to our leadership that way to gain full hegemony over the Middle East? Yeah, you won't see a very balanced power structure in the world in the next 40 to 50 years. It's not about being pro-Islam. It's not, I can give a fuck about Iran. Let that be very clear. I could give a fuck. I don't care about the supreme leader. I don't have any vested interest. I don't care. It has nothing to do with my politics or my world. The reason why it matters is because once that power balance is gone, Israel has a chance at competing with the United States from a power structure scale. That is why. If you cannot understand that,
and they will sell us out. They've already sold us out to the Russians plenty of times.
And they pose a moral hazard as well, because when we step in and we support them, that gears up Russia and China to attack us as well politically. And eventually that can materialize. You don't know where this can ever lead. So I say this to make a greater point. Israel is a moral hazard. So it doesn't matter whether we decapitate this terroristic regime or whatever. If you have a vested interest in American politics, if you have a vested interest in the United States having autonomy over the entire world, especially the Middle East, then it's in your best interest for Iran to exist. It's in your best interest for the Ayatollah to actually oppose Israel and have checks and balances happening in the Middle East, as well as a power balance. If we don't have that, Israel will run wild and destroy the whole region. And that will cause more chaos. That will cause us to have more military intervention in the Middle East. Then boots on ground may actually get introduced. Then we'll go back into trillions of dollars of debt. Then it'll be a second or third or fourth Gulf War. That's the biggest problem. This is going to transpire into something greater if Iran is decapitated. Now that we've killed Ayatollah, there's going to be a power vacuum, and several different factions may try to rise to power. Further destabilization. I don't know how people don't understand this. Look at what happened in Syria. It's literally the same thing. And people say, oh, well, Iraq is different because we had boots on ground and we were there for several years and we didn't have, this quick air swooping campaign where we changed the power structure and everything like that. It doesn't matter whether this war is 4 days, 10 minutes, or 4 years. The outcome is negative for the United States because now there's no power balance in the Middle East. That's the point I'm trying to make. Hopefully that long-winded explanation can bridge the gap for some of these retards who think that I'm being some Iranian apologist. No, I actually have a vested interest in the United States. That's why I have that position. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, people are just very stupid because they don't realize the Israeli.
You shouldn't worry about what people think, bro, and people's opinions. Just give your opinion and that's it, man. You guys cry too much sometimes. Hey, that's it, guys, for me, man. I'm going to go to bed. I'm tired as heck. I've been up since 4 in the morning. But if you guys can join me on Kick or back on X, man, I'll be back on X tomorrow morning from 4 a.m. on up. So, yeah, appreciate you guys being here and have a good night, man. Much love. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.